making your device more user-friendly and accessible. Okay, so first we're going to talk about accessibility on Mac. So that'd be if you have an old Macintosh computer, Mac Mini, Mac Pro, or any computer that has an Apple logo on it, pretty much. First, you're going to click the Apple logo at the top of the taskbar, and then you'll click System Preferences. In System Preferences, you're going to click on the Accessibility section. As you can see on the right, that's what it will look like, icon like that in Settings or System Preferences. Next, when you're in Accessibility Settings, you can choose to actually show it in the, what do we call this, taskbar, or what do we call it on Mac? I can't remember.
It is called the menu bar.
It'll be visible in the menu bar right beside Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and sound as well. Okay, so on here you've also got options for vision and for voice, and those are voiceover, which you talk to it and it will pick something up, it will touch the thing on your screen. There's zoom, like zooming into things, and then you have your display settings as well. Here, so you can also adjust in the zoom section, you can actually zoom in with keyboard shortcuts with the command key plus certain extensions. And you can also zoom in using those keyboard shortcuts, and you can choose to enable or disable it automatically.
I'll say about this one, when you go back, that you know how you might know that you can like zoom in on certain windows, like if you're in your internet, you can zoom in on certain things, but sometimes you can't zoom in. This lets you zoom in on your screen at any time. So if you're just on your desktop, you wouldn't normally be able to zoom in. It will zoom in anywhere.
Okay, so display. In display settings, you'll see that you can change the display color of the screen to make it better, make it look better for your eyes, to help your eyes. And you can also change the contrast, so the contrasting colors, and then the size of like how big your mouse appears on the screen. So then you can easily see what you're clicking better. As well, speech allows you to have Mac read out all of the notifications or alerts that you get. It's the similar voices to Apple's Siri platform. You can also enable your screen to read selected information right on the screen as well, and you can also select the voice and the speed of the person that will be talking for those items. Next section of accessibility are the media settings. So the options are captions for videos and descriptions in the video. Okay, first we're going to talk about descriptions. Descriptions are helpful if you need like a spoken description of the pictures on the screen, and it's subject to availability based on the content. So most content from the iTunes store you'll be able to watch with that section. Captions are helpful if you're watching a film that's in a different language, or if you just want to read along what they're saying, what the people are saying, and you can watch the picture at the same time. And most content subtitles will be auto-created or they'll be available, but some content, but it will not be available for. There are only one option under the hearing settings, and these are audio settings. So then you can get your screen to flash when an alert comes in, and you can also test it there. And you can also play your audio that's from your stereo as mono. So then the audio, such as if you have headphones on, the audio will be the same in each headphone.
And that's really important if you are hard of hearing in a certain ear. Changing your headphones to mono could be great because certain, especially music, they'll mix it to play certain sounds out of certain sides of the speakers. So you might be missing sounds if they're coming through only one side. So if you change it to mono, then everything will be coming through equally on both sides. That's why that's important if you're hard of hearing in one ear.
Yeah. Okay. So interaction. This interaction settings are available. Okay. So interaction. Here we've got Siri, which is Apple's virtual assistant, dictation, which you can type to speak in a keyboard, and we've got keyboard and mouse settings as well. First, we're going to start with dictation. So dictation lets you type text by saying it out loud. You can also change the commanding phrase that tells your computer what to say. So, for example, I could say, computer, start listening, or Siri, start listening, whatever phrase it would be. And next, we're going to talk about Siri. Siri is Apple's voice assistant to help you perform different tasks, and also has general knowledge as well. So you can ask it questions like, what's the weather? What was the score of the Blue Jays, or sorry, not Blue Jays, New York Yankees, for example? What's the score of baseball or hockey, or just general knowledge? And it will link you to the website. Siri lets you, so the options are like doing FaceTime, so that's video calling with friends, or you want to search something on the internet. Okay, keyboard settings. Here you can turn on sticky keys, or Apple calls them slow keys sometimes as well. And it means that you have to press down. So especially for people that might have arthritis, this is helpful because you might accidentally click the wrong key or not be able to feel the right key. You have to press it for a certain amount of seconds before it will input that key. And there are also other keyboard settings under the keyboard preferences section. As well, we can change the mouse and trackpad settings. So mouse and trackpad, that's helpful. Trackpads like on the laptop, that's your that's basically the mouse that comes with the MacBook Pros and Mac Minis, and you can also buy them separately as well. And mouse is the default external property peripheral that you'd have. And spring loading is, so when a folder opens when you hover your mouse over it. So that's when you move your mouse over something. Next, we're going to move on to Windows. So Windows, you're going to have to access your your items. They're called ease of access. You're going to go to the start menu. Then you're going to open settings and then ease of access. And this is for Windows 10. If you want to access it from another model, you'll find these settings in Control Panel. And we can go over Windows 7 if we do need to at one point. Next, okay, so vision settings. This option, or vision options, give you information about the display, the cursor size, so that's like the mouse, the magnifier, which will zoom things, and then other options. Okay, and display, you can make your text larger. You also have an option to make all apps on your display to a certain size. So instead of 100%, you could set it to 150. On my end, I usually have it at 125 because I find that Windows taskbars are way too small. But it's up to you how you do it. You can also adjust your brightness from this section if your monitor supports it. So laptops, you can do it, but sometimes on the desktop, you're going to have to change it on the monitor itself. Cursor and pointer size. So here you can actually change the size of your mouse, as I was saying. You can change the color of the mouse, and color and size. Okay, so the magnifier, this is how you can magnify things. So then like a little item on your computer, you can magnify, and usually magnifier starts at 100%, but it is disabled by default. You can turn it on, and then after that, you'll use the Windows key and then by clicking the Windows key and then minus on your keyboard. Okay, color filters. Color filters are a great thing when you want to, if you have color blindness, this is helpful because you can have it in grayscale, so then everything's gray. You can have it in colors like blue and other colors instead of the regular options. And this will work for videos and documents as well. So such as Microsoft Word and the Office suite. And it has specific options for different types of color blindness as well. And if you find there's not enough contrast on your display between the elements, you can click the the left shift key, so the one that's that's like the arrow up that's on the left side of your keyboard, and then print screen to turn high contrast on or off, and then you can choose what type of contrast you want to change it to. Narrator. This is a mode where Windows, same as Mac, you can talk to it and it will read your screen for you, and you can change the voice and the pitch as well. Okay, hearing settings. So we've got audio and we've got closed captions. Sound, you can see here, we've also got the option audio settings to turn on mono audio as well. So it's available on Windows and Mac. And you can also set visual alerts on Windows as well for your notifications. So your computer will flash whenever there's an information. Closed captions. We've got closed caption colors, fonts, transparency, the style and size of them, and you can change them however you need to for perfect viewing on different videos, as we were talking about closed captions before. Next, we're going to talk about interaction settings. So we've got a number of regular Windows features that were built in, and we got a beta feature as well, but the beta feature is not very widely available. Speech. So speech recognition is where you can type text by speaking out loud. You can pick, and you can also pick the phrase to start it with as well. And you can do basic things with using voice commands. Keyboard. So you can also filter keys is the same as slow keys or sticky keys, which is also another thing on Windows, and it does the same thing, that it ignores repeated keystrokes or if you clicked it very quickly, and it will assume that most keystrokes are mistakes. Okay, next, the mouse. This is where you can change mouse keys, and you can also turn on so then your arrow keys can become the mouse for your computer as well. And you can pick the speed that your mouse moves around. Eye control. This is a beta feature and not widely available yet. This is where you can move your eyes or your head, and it will actually move the mouse around. And this is available using accessibility cameras, and this is with the eye tracking devices. And it might not work the best as it's brand new and it's only available on select devices right now, but you can also buy a third-party extension, and it's helpful if you can't hold the mouse, but you want to just move your head for it. Okay, other resources. Macaulay's now going to tell us about the Cyber Seniors Training and Resource Area and about how to do sessions on that program as well. Okay, you can take over, Macaulay.
I'm actually going to show something really quickly first that I just wanted to bring up. So we showed you how to do these on your computer. I know a lot of you use a tablet or a phone primarily. So I'm going to show you quickly how to access similar resources on your iPhone or Android device. So here I just took a quick screen video. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, so here's how you'll get to those accessibility resources on an iPhone. So you'll go to your settings, and then you'll scroll down in your settings, see that there's accessibility option there. And that's where all these resources are located. They're slightly different than the resources available on your computer, but a lot of them are the same. And you can go through there and you can work with, the magnifier as well. We have the voiceover too, Zoom, spoken content, which is where it reads what's on your screen, and stuff like that. So that's all there for you. So you can go through there and look around and see what you can do to make your device more accessible from there on a Apple phone. And then I don't have an Android, but I was able to pull up where that exists on a Android device. So if you're on an Android device, again, where'd it go? You go to your settings, and then there'll be this accessibility option. I think if you scroll down the page, it's just like a man with his arms out. And then from there, you'll see these accessibility settings. So again, similar stuff. You have the magnification, some color correction, color inversion. You can change the font size, display size, stuff like that. So that's available on Android devices. That's tablets and phones as well. And if you have something different that's not either of these, they will almost certainly have accessibility settings in your settings folder. And generally the symbol is like that man like this. So you'll be able to find those on any device. And now that you're aware that they're there and aware of what they do, because a lot of them have similar functions, you'll be able to do that. And then lastly, I just wanted to take you through, so some of these have to be updated, but if you are registered in our Cyber Senior system, which I know many of you are, and if you aren't and you'd like to be, you can let me know, because we have tons of resources on this site. When you get on, you'll be on your dashboard, and you go to the Senior Resource and Training Center. You'll go, I'm alone, proceed. And then here you'll have all these resources, including our accessibility resources. So we link to kind of explanations of how to do that, those Microsoft Windows accessibility stuff, the Apple accessibility stuff. And then we also have some links to different downloads that you can get on your devices, both your computer and phone. I think some of them are a bit outdated, so we have to update them. So be patient with that, but I know that some of them are here. Like we do have this, as Connor was saying, there are add-on face mouses. So this is one of them that you can download from the Google Play Store, and you can use that to use your eyes as a mouse, especially if you have dexterity issues, if you have arthritis. I know my grandma has arthritis in her hand, so sometimes a mouse can be tiring to use, and that can be a good alternative to that. If it's something you're interested in. But yeah, on that Cyber Seniors Senior and Resource Training Center, we have a bunch of accessibility resources available to you there.